Good morning, friends, and welcome to another vlog. Carol here. It is morning. I am dressed for work. It was a hair wash day, as you can see. So the curls, this is what they're gonna look like for a while. I have my energy drink in hand, thank goodness. And I wanted to show you my outfit of the day because I wanted to share that yes, while I am put together on days when I'm not filming outfit videos, it's not that serious, you know? So today, here we are, nice and simple. I have a long skirt on and a polo. This is a branded one from my job, and I was able to buy it from the swag store, which is kind of cool. They give you like credits and then you can purchase stuff. And then here's my hair. The curls are getting longer. Look how amazing that is. Oh my goodness. Oh, but feeling like a drowned rat per usual. And I'm wearing the remnants of yesterday's lipstick. Did not get it all off when I was doing my lip routine last night. Very strange. Just about to head out for the day, but I wanted to share with you, I am in the middle of a book. Where is said book? I think I may have already put it in my purse. I have. That makes sense. Okay. So I am in the middle of a book, the one that I shared with you at the end of the last vlog that I had started. This is Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry, and it may or may not match my shirt. But anyway, so far so good on this book, and I will talk about it a little bit more later, but I am halfway through as of last night before bed. And so I wanted to make sure to share the book with you before I just finish it. I am trying to get better about talking through the book versus just telling you what it was about at the very, very end, just in case you're interested in reading it, you know? But anyway, I need to hit the road. I have breakfast at work. That's definitely been a habit of mine, is to just bring an item in the beginning of the week that I can have all week. And this week is bagels. So I'm gonna do that, and I've already taken my meds. I already gave myself my shot. We're doing pretty good. And you know what? I slept well last night, and for that I'm very grateful. Also, quick update on the front garden beds, because I've updated on the back garden beds. I don't know if you can see these tiny dug up spots, but as I suspected may happen, we have squirrels that have feasted on the seeds of my labor here in the front. And so we have had very little growth. Am I glad that we went through all of it still? Absolutely. Because now at least we've got the lights in, the rocks, and the border, and it still looks more intentional than it did before. My plants over here are doing well though. Nothing's messing with them. And then this is the other bed. Basically, we have a troop of squirrels, and they have been using this as their buffet over the last couple of weeks, which means that most of the seeds are probably gone by now, because nature is really good at sussing out what they want. This one, we have some weeds coming up, and so my next project is to de-weed this again, and then I am going to search for and price, really, plants, bushes for the front here. Because I don't want flowers. I love flowers, but that's really not the look I'm going for. I'd rather native grass plants, actually. I think they're easier to maintain. You can cut them down. They grow back fairly quickly. But that's okay. These guys, on the other hand, look at this one. This one's growing the best. Then we have the second best here at the bottom. And then this one's looking real sad. I think that there is another animal that is constantly coming in here and messing with this one in particular. And I think it's a neighborhood cat. Because this, I don't know if you noticed this, but see how it's like squished right there? Does that not look a little loaf-shaped to you? And Thomas has seen the neighborhood cat messing with this plant in particular twice now. And you know what? If that's what's happening, it is what it is. Obviously, the cats rule the world and they need space, you know? Well, friends, I am finally home. It's been a really long day. Oh my gosh. But you know what? It is my Friday. and thank goodness for that. And I am halfway through my book, and I read a little bit at lunch today. I was really hoping to read for longer at lunch, but I'll be honest, I got caught up chatting with my coworkers, and like, you know, that's not such a bad thing. Oh my gosh, I love them. We just have so much fun together. The work that we do is really, really hard. And it can be really, really frustrating and sad, but I love my coworkers, and I feel like that's something. So anyway, update on Great Big Beautiful Life. So the premise of this book is we have a famous celebrity who is having two characters. We have Alice and we have Hayden, and they are basically in competition to determine who gets to write the biography for this former celebrity who essentially like went into hiding. And so far, I'm loving it. It is really emotional. What I'm enjoying about the two primary characters is it is kind of grumpy sunshine, but I don't know. It really just reminds me, in some ways, Alice reminds me of myself, and she has this like young, childlike sense of wonder about her, and I just love that. And Hayden is more serious, but like grumpy isn't quite the term, just serious. And I'm enjoying them together. I have tabbed a couple of things, and so I wanted to read one thing in particular that I feel like kind of sums up the characters thus far. In this scene, they are chatting about the dawn, and I just really love the way that this scene expresses each of their personalities. And so Alice says, I shrug and sip on my coffee. You think I'm being ridiculous? I say, half statement, half question. And he says, I think you live in a world that's more interesting than the one most people live in, he says. Just as my heart starts to sink with disappointment, with a kind of loneliness, he adds, and I wish I could live in it too. It's just so sweet. So anyway, really enjoying it thus far. The celebrity aspect of it, I like a lot. If you read The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, it is that same kind of premise in the terms of you are seeing the story of this celebrity develop throughout the chapters. And so there are not dual perspectives per se, but essentially two different stories happening simultaneously. And Emily Henry's ability to write varied kinds of romance books is something that I really enjoy. It's what I love about Laurie Gilmore. I feel like there are some romance authors that tend to write the same types of things over and over, and that can be repetitive for me personally, but this one is getting me. Oh my gosh, this might be my new favorite after People We Meet on Vacation, but of course I will update you. I'm going to be reading tonight, kind of hoping I can finish it, but we'll see. Good morning, friends. Welcome to the next day. The book is done. I had a really good time with it. I'm going to update you here in a little bit. But this morning we find ourselves doing approximately 12 million things at once. Today, the girls and I are leaving for our annual Girl Scout weekend away with our Girl Scout troop, which is very exciting. But it means I have a lot of things to accomplish today, and I'm trying to not feel guilty for finishing my book last night instead of doing some of these things, because you gotta balance what you need versus what you're doing for others. I'm really trying to hone in on that this year. I am wearing my In My Girl Scout Era t-shirt. I'll flip you around, but the real magic, of this shirt is that it says In My Girl Scout Era on the back, and I don't really know how to show you that. Maybe I'll get fancy with my mirror. So here we are. I have the black t-shirt with some bike shorts, pretty simple, wearing my Crocs, functional too, because I have a lot of things to do. I have some mirror ball earrings on, because, you know, Taylor and all that. And my hair is just up in a curly ponytail to keep it out of my way. Let me see if I can show you the back. Okay, so showing you the back was not nearly as difficult as I thought it would be, but there it is in the mirror in my Girl Scout leader era. Yes, she is. It's been about 14 years now. Here's everything I need to get packed up into my duffel. I got all my meds over there. Not a whole lot. We're just doing a weekend away like we usually do, but we have a swimsuit, undergarments, skirt, bra, shorts, shirts, and then my pajamas at the bottom there. And then hair care items, deodorant, hair ties, brush, and then, like I said, meds, lotion, earrings. So I need to get all that in there. I have my blow dryer, and I am bringing William next because it's small, so I can probably read it while I'm waiting for the kids to settle down at night. Oh my goodness, y'all. I just had to restart the printer because I went to go print like the last minute paperwork that I need to bring. And my printer was like, oh, we're not connected to Wi-Fi. Oh dear. And I'm like, oh no, we're not doing this mess right now. You know how printers like smell fear? That was me this morning. I was like, ooh, remain calm. Because I have to put together these packets of information for each of the other leaders because each of us has kids that we're responsible for. And so essentially I'm creating packets with like all of the kids' information. And yeah, I need to get that done today. That's kind of what I was talking about. It's like I put it off last night because I really wanted to finish my book and just relax, but now I've pushed it all till today. We don't need to leave until 2 o'clock. And right now it is 8:53. So I know that I have plenty of time. But essentially I'm just like time stacking in my head of this is what I need to get accomplished. This is how much time I have to do it in, and working my way backwards to make sure that we leave on time because we're meeting at the school at 2:30 and then kind of carpooling to Denver from there because that is where we're going this year. We are doing a Denver Scouts in the City glamping adventure, and I am so excited. We're staying in hotels. We're going to have access to a pool if parents would like to take their kiddos. We have a bunch of adults coming as well, and we have some fun things planned for the weekend. Of course, I'm going to take you along and show you all of that fun stuff, but I got to get there. We have to get there, you know? While the printer is printing and while I was getting ready this morning, this order from King Soopers was dropped off. These are snack items for the hotel. So I have waters, of course. I have some Go-Go Squeeze, some Yogi's fruit snacks, popcorn for a movie night. We've got some granola bars. We have stuff to make s'mores. Something was out of stock and I need to verify what it was so that way I can stop somewhere and grab it, unless it's not that big of a deal. And honestly, they have grocery delivery to the hotel, I'm sure, if we need anything in a pinch, but I just like to be prepared. I'm not even bringing this stuff inside the house. I'm actually just gonna go ahead and start packing up the car. And look at her, she's so pretty. Got her washed recently and the interior is still looking good after being vacuumed. So I'm gonna work on that next. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. That way it's just done and then I can work on packing up my stuff that I've packed as well as the girls. Scene change. Joanna and I are in the car. She is having breakfast. We stopped by McDonald's, and we are going to go into Hobby Lobby after she's done and look for some crafts for the hotel room. So something that's not too messy, that can serve a lot of girls, and that isn't too expensive. Fingers crossed that I find something, because let's see, I went to Dollar Tree yesterday and I went to Five Below and there was absolutely nothing. So I really am hoping. I don't want anything that has to use like glue or paint, because we're going to be in a hotel and I don't want to make a giant mess. But I would like something something they can do in the hotel during downtime. I'm also bringing table games, card games, things like that. You know, all the good Girl Scout leader things to make sure everybody is occupied while also getting some downtime built into there for the girls that need it. Okay, we were moderately successful at Hobby Lobby. I will show you that when we get home. And now we are at Dollar Tree because I need only toothpaste. Only toothpaste, Carol. This is me telling me. We'll see. All right, we are back from the store. So from Hobby Lobby, I got fuzzy art ornaments. I'm just gonna grab the troop markers, and this should be a nice, easy hotel activity. And then I got scratch art as well. There's 24 in here and 24 in here. Thank you, Hobby Lobby. And this was $2.99 and $3.99. And you know Hobby Lobby is always like 50% off. And then from Dollar Tree, I got some toothpaste, which is what I needed, and some pipe cleaners, which is what I didn't need. But we are gonna have a restaurant meal, and you know how kids can get at restaurants, and so I figured this would be a nice quiet table activity to just bring out of my backpack as a surprise for the kids so they can create things while they're at the table. And then from Hobby Lobby, Joanna picked up some sinking snakes for the pool, because I will definitely be bringing my kids to the pool. Well, I am feeling pretty accomplished. It's 11 o'clock and all of my errands are done, aside from getting gas, but I'm gonna do that on the way to the school where we're rendezvousing, and getting the last of the stuff in the car now. I have my bag of miscellaneous supplies, to include the first aid kit and things like that. And then I have Melanie's bag as well. She was the last to get her stuff upstairs. She needed to take a shower and do all that stuff. So, you know, young adult life. Oh my gosh. It's gonna be a hot one today. And I'm in all black. Final look. Oh, that is so much better. Please excuse my wedding bands. They just love to move around. I don't really experience swelling, and I don't know if this is just overall because the swelling in my body has gone down this year especially, but my rings, man. My engagement ring especially really needs to be resized, I think. Just like one size down because it just loves to flop around. Do. But that looks way better. And now I am weekend ready. Now I can sit down and talk with you and give you my full recap and opinions on Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. I did in fact finish this last night, somewhere right around midnight, which is pretty good. I didn't stay up too late. I have been known to stay up until 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, even on a work day, to finish a good book, but that was not necessary, and for that I'm grateful. I really enjoyed this one. Now, of course, I am an Emily Henry fan in general, but I liked this for several different reasons, and this will officially be in my top 3 romances by this author. As I stated before, my favorite was People We Meet on Vacation, and then after that, I would have to say is Book Lovers, and then this one is now in that top 3 tier ranking. And then after that, I'm not really sure, you know? Unfortunately, some of them have been less memorable, there it is, than others. And so I take that into account when considering like what have been my favorites. But this is one that I think will stick with me. And I really, really loved it. I love incorporating celebrity and reading about celebrity lifestyles. This one kind of reminded me in terms of the similarity of the theming only to The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And that's really where the similarity ends. They both take place in the world of celebrity, and that is noted. In fact, I said in my review that if one of the prolific characters from Taylor Jenkins Reid's celebrity universe had popped up in this book, I would not have even been surprised because it covers similar past experiences. There are mentions of actual celebrities in this book and the made up one character, of course. And I just thought that was really fun, that incorporation. That's something that I really enjoy. Does it wrap up happily ever after? Yes. That's what I want in a romance book. And there was a surprise reveal towards the end that I was not expecting, but I'm not the type of reader that goes into a romance book trying to figure everything out by the end. I want the book to unfold as it will, and I just want to be immersed in the love story itself. If you are not somebody that likes kind of like an automatic romance or prefers a longer timetable throughout a book, this probably won't be the one for you. The characters go from not knowing each other to madly in love within the time frame of about a month and a half. And so you have to be willing to kind of dive into that kind of romance book to really enjoy it. Loved the writing. I was crying at the end, not just with the primary conflict in the book. That was the surprise itself for me personally. Some people I'm sure saw it coming, but again, I'm not like trying to suss out what it's going to be. I'm just along for the ride. There were some steamy scenes, of course, and once again, she does an amazing job with those. There is always really firm consent in her books, and that's something that I really enjoy as well. I think it is so important for young women to see healthy representations of consent, and not just for the primary female character, but also the primary male character. And that is something that was introduced in this book and handled very well. And I appreciated that a lot. As somebody who is raising a 19-year-old young adult female, I want to be able to share with her books that are gonna have healthy relational dynamics. I love my husband to death. And he and I have had an amazing marriage and partnership over the last 21 years that we have been together, 20 years married. And it's important for me as a parent that my girls be able to experience healthy relationships between love interests in a romance. And some authors purposefully go out of their way to skew that for the drama of the narrative. And I do not enjoy that type of romance. However, Emily Henry does it right. And for me, Taylor Jenkins Reid does it right. And really, her romance books, I wouldn't even say are really romances. They're just novels that incorporate themes of love versus Emily Henry, who's like, I love a good romance. This is what I do well. And boy, does she ever. So I really enjoyed the book. If this is an author that you haven't yet read from, or maybe you've read some of her other things, I would highly encourage this one if you are into that whole celebrity atmosphere and having that wound throughout the narrative, because it is so much of this book. And I really enjoyed that. And now I'm gonna go relax. I am gonna let my nails fully dry, because you know it takes like 2 to 3 hours for them to fully dry. And as I was setting up for this filming shot, actually, I ruined a nail. And it's my middle nail, so I'm not gonna show you, but I'm gonna show you a little bit. See, you can't even really see it on camera. It's definitely one of those things where I notice more than the camera does. Anywho, I was never a girl that grew up like painting her nails all the time by any means. And in fact, I do so much typing for work that for years I was like, I can't even paint my nails. It's useless. They get ruined. And you know what? They do get ruined. It's been a really good practice for me over the last few months that once a week I sit down and I take care of my nail health and I put a fun color on it, and I've really enjoyed it. It doesn't hurt either that some of the YouTubers that I watch are really into nail painting and nail art. And I'm certainly not at that level. I haven't spent a ton of money on my nail polish. Honestly, it's all from Dollar Tree just because that's what's quick, easy, and cheap. And this is not like a hobby. It's just something that I really enjoy doing. And I find actually that having my nails constantly trimmed down has been better for typing, and I'm having less broken nails overall. And now it's time to relax. I'm back in bed for a little bit. Thomas took Joanna to the park to go play and burn off some of her energy before we have to drive an hour and a half to 2 hours to Denver. I'm really hoping we don't have a lot of traffic, but it's a weekend, so gotta be mindful of that. So he went to go do that. Melanie's actually chilling downstairs in her room. So I'm going to relax because driving is not my favorite thing. Kind of stresses me out. Much rather be a passenger princess, but that is not the case. We are going to Denver, just the three of us, which means driving is all on me. And I will be chaperoning 3 other of our scouts. So this weekend I joked that I am a mother of 5. And I'm gonna have a great time doing it. 2 of the girls that are coming with, I have taken away before on our weekend camp out, and they're so much fun, so I'm excited to hang out with them again. And the other one, the third, this will be our first time going together without her parent, and I think she's gonna do great. I think she's gonna have so much fun, and I know I will. So anyway, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just gonna relax, let my nails dry, watch some YouTube. The calm before the chaos that is any large-scale group event.